Good morning children, welcome to Max class. Today we are going to solve some questions that are given in the last part of the unit number world, and also we will start the second unit. Okay, let us begin. Here we can see 5 questions. Let us solve these questions one by one. Look at the first question. In an educational district, there are 215 schools and the district panchayat allotted 4,850 rupees to each of these for setting up math lab, and also 76,500 rupees each for 36 schools for a computer lab. How much is the total allotment for labs? Here, for setting up math lab, amount is allotted to each school is 4,850 rupees, and for setting up computer lab, the amount is allotted to each school is 76,500 rupees. Here we have to calculate the total amount needed to 215 schools for setting up math lab, and also we have to calculate the amount is needed to 36 schools for setting up computer lab. After that we have to find out the total allotment for labs. Look, allotment for math lab in 215 schools is equal to 4,850 into 215. By multiplying these two numbers, we get the product as 10,42,750 rupees. That much amount is needed for setting up math lab in 215 schools. Then allotment for computer lab in 36 schools is equal to 76,500 into 36. By multiplying, we get the product as 27,54,000 rupees. That much amount is needed for setting up computer lab in 36 schools. Therefore, the total allotment for setting up these two labs is equal to 10,42,750 plus 27,54,000. By adding these two numbers, we get the sum as 37,96,750 rupees. That means the total allotment provided by Panchayat is 37,96,750 rupees. Then second one, under the noon meal scheme, 150 grams of rice is allotted per day for each child. In a high school, 1,240 children are in this scheme. How many kilograms of rice is needed per day? Can you calculate? Here, rice is allotted per day for each child is equal to 150 gram. Total children under this scheme is equal to 1,240. Therefore, the rice is needed for 1,240 children per day is equal to 1,240 into 150. Each child need 150 gram. Then total number of children is 1,240. So, the rice needed for 1,240 children per day is equal to, multiplying these numbers, we get the product as 1,86,000 gram. We need the answer in kilogram. Here we can write 1,86,000 as 186 into 1000. We know that by multiplying with 1000 we get 3 zeros at the end of the number. Is it? Yes. 1,86,000 is equivalent to 186 into 1000. We know that 1000 gram is equal to 1 kilogram. Instead of 1000 gram, we can write it as 1 kilogram. That is equal to 186 into 1 kilogram. It is equal to 186 kilogram. That means 186 kilogram rice is needed for 1,240 children per day. Or we can write it as, we know that 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 gram. For converting gram into kilogram, we have to divide the number by 1000. So 1,86,000 divided by 1000 is equal to 186 kilogram. That means how many thousand in 1,86,000? How many thousand? Yes, 186,000. That means the answer is 186 kilogram. Third question, in an upper primary school, the PTA collected 2,36,465 rupees to build a computer lab. It is in 1,000, 500, 100, 50, 10 and 5 rupee notes. There are 100,000 rupee notes. What are the possible number of others? Write at least 3 different possibilities. Here the collected amount is 2,36,465. In this amount there are 100,000 rupee notes. You have to find out the possible number of other notes that are given here. Now I explain one possible method. You have to arrange the number of notes in order to get 2,36,465 rupees in 2 different ways. When you arrange the number of notes, you kept in mind that the total amount is 2,36,465 rupees only, and also there are 100,000 rupee notes. You find out the number of other notes except 1,000 rupee note. Here 2,36,465 contain 100,000 rupee note. We know that 100,000 rupee note make 1 lakh. That is 1,000 into 100 equal to 1 lakh rupees. Then we take 200 note of 500 rupees gives another 1 lakh rupees. That is 500 into 200 gives 1 lakh. Now the total amount become 2 lakh. For getting the remaining amount, that is 36,465, we consider 300 note of 100 rupee note. That is 300 note of 100 rupee make 30,000. Now the amount become 2,30,000. Then consider 20 notes of 50 rupees. It makes 6,000. Now the total become 2,36,000. And consider 40 notes of 10 rupee. It gives 400 rupees. Then consider 13 notes of 5 rupees. It gives 65. Now the total become 2,36,465. By differing the number of notes, you try to find out 2 different possibilities. The fourth question is to be done as homework. It was decided to give 1,221 books each to 587 selected libraries in the state during the reading week. How many books are to be bought in all? Here 1,221 books are given to each library. How many libraries are there? Yes, 587 libraries. So you have to calculate the total number of books needed for these 587 libraries. You must do this question yourself. Fifth one, in an election contested by 2 candidates, the winner got 3,74,436 votes and his rival got 2,93,760 votes. What is the winner's majority? 1,436 votes were invalid. How many votes were polled? Here we have to calculate the winner's majority and also the total number of votes were polled. Here the number of votes is got by winner is equal to 3,74,436. Then number of votes is got by rival, that is equal to 2,93,760. Then invalid vote is equal to 1,436. First we have to find out the winner's majority. How will you calculate the winner's majority? Yes, by taking the difference of the number of votes got by winner and the number of votes got by rival. Here rival means losers or opponent. That is, by subtracting 2,93,760 from 3,74,436, we get the answer as 8,676. The majority vote got by winner is equal to 8,676. Then we have to calculate the total number of votes were polled. Number of votes were polled is equal to, by taking the sum of the number of votes got by winner and the number of votes got by rival and the invalid vote. By adding these three numbers, we get the sum as 6,69,632. That means 6,69,632 votes were polled. Children, please look at the questions that are given in the project work. Write a 4-digit number and reverse the digits. Find the difference of these two. Do you note any speciality of the digital root of this number? Now I take the 4-digit number as 6,281. Then reversing the digit, we get the number as 1,826. By taking the difference of these two numbers, we get the answer as 4,455. We have to calculate the digital root of this number. How will you calculate? Yes, first we add the digit of this number. That is 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5. By adding, we get the sum as 18. Again, we take the sum of these digits. That is 1 plus 8 equal to 9. That is 9 is the digital root of 4,455. Then take another 4-digit number, that is 5,432. By reversing the digits, we get the number as 2,345. By taking the difference of these two numbers, we get the answer as 3,087. By adding the digits of these numbers, that is 3 plus 0 plus 8 plus 7, that is equal to 18. Again adding the digits in 18, that is 1 plus 8 equal to 9. That is 9 is the digital root of 3087. Here we can see that the digital root are same. Children, you must try with the other 3 set of 4-digit number and do in this way and complete this table. And also you note down the speciality of the digital root. Okay. This is the last activity in this unit. That means this chapter ends here. Now let us start the second unit, when lines join. Today we will discuss only a few portions of this unit. In this chapter onwards, we need a geometric box for doing activities. I think all of you have familiar with the geometric box. If not, please buy it. Okay? Then children, do you like to travel? Yes. When we overcome this pandemic situation, definitely we will go for a tour from our school. Let us hope for that beautiful moment. Here, Malu and Appu were friends. Malu came to class with the photos of her tour. Appu looked at some photos and said, "There is something common to all." Now, let us go through the photos that Appu saw. These are the photos: coconut tree, palm tree, slider, and electric post. Did you notice any peculiarities? Yes. Some things are straight up, others slanted. Here, palm tree and electric post are straight up, others slanted. Please look at this picture. It is a tower in the city of Pisa in Italy. It is known as Leaning Tower of Pisa. This slanted tower is attracted by tourists. Now we saw straight up and slanted objects. Then let us come to our topic. Children, please look at the topic, 4 sides. Shown below are some figures with 4 sides. 4-sided figures are called quadrilaterals. In these figures, some sides go straight up from the bottom line and some are at a slant. For example, look at this first figure. Here the left line goes straight up, that is upright, while the right one is slanted to left. Look at the other figures and complete this table. First figure, the left line is upright and the right line is slanted. Then look at the second figure. Here both lines are upright, that is go straight up from the bottom line. Here we write the left and right line are in the upright. There is no slanted line. So here you write left line and right line are upright. Slanted line is nil. In the case of third figure, the left line is slanted and the right line is upright. Is it? So you have to write right line is upright and left line is slanted. Likewise, you analyze these figures and complete this table. Now look at this box, polygons. Geometrical figures made up of lines are named according to the number of sides. According to the number of sides, the figures are named. Those with 4 sides are quadrilaterals. Those with 5 sides are pentagons. Those with 6 sides are hexagon, and so on. Here in this figure there are 4 sides, so it is called quadrilateral. In the second figure there are 5 sides, so 5-sided figures are called pentagon. Third one is 6-sided figure, so this figure is called hexagon. 6-sided figure is called hexagon. Then in this figure there are 7 sides, so 7-sided figure is called septagon. Last figure is 8-sided figure, so 8-sided figure is called octagon. Polygon means the figures with at least 3 or more than 3-sided figures. Here polygons are named according to the number of sides. Then look at the next topic, set squares. Here Ramu is trying to cut out a rectangle from a wooden plank. See the tool he uses to make a side straight up from the other. It is called a set square. By using this set square, Ramu make a side straight up from the bottom line. This tool is called a set square. Here carpenter use such a type of set square to draw a straight line. But in mathematics we use set squares that are kept in the geometric box. In our geometric box, a pair of set squares are seen. Like this, 2 set squares are there in a geometric box. What are their uses? One use of set square is that to make a straight line or to draw a straight line from the other line. Later we will study the other uses of set square. Now look at this quadrilateral. Can you say, are the left and right lines straight up from the bottom? At glance we cannot say both sides are straight up. Do you agree? Yes. Then how will you check it? By using a set square we can check whether the line is straight or not from the bottom line. You have to choose any of the 2 set square for checking whether the line is straight or not from the bottom line. Now we are going to check whether the left side of a rectangle is upright or not. For this, first we place the corner of a set square at the bottom left end of the rectangle. Then out of 3 corners of a set square, the corner that lies in the L-shaped side of a set square is placed at the left end of the rectangle. Now I am going to place the corner of a set square at the left end of the rectangle. Here we can see the side of a set square is exactly lies at the left side of a rectangle. That is, left side of a rectangle is not deviated from the sides of a set square. Or we can say that the side of set square is coinciding with the sides of a rectangle. That means the left line is upright, or we can say that it is straight from the bottom line. Now let us check whether the right side of a rectangle is straightened or slanted. Look, First we place this L-shaped corner of a set square in this corner of the rectangle. Now we place the L-shaped corner at the corner of this rectangle. Here we can see that the right side of this rectangle is a bit slanted to the right. That is, right side of a rectangle is not coinciding with the sides of set square. Right side of a rectangle is slightly deviated from the sides of set square. By looking this figure, we can easily clear that the right line is a bit slanted to the right. From this we can say that by using set square, we can check whether the line is upright or slanted. Okay. Let me wind up today's class. Study well. If any doubt, please ask me. Okay. Thank you.